The time is currently 12:54 a.m. Let's see if I can get this done for 1:30, because that's my bedtime tonight. So, now let's see about that diet update. So, today I weighed 148.4, down a pound from yesterday. Big thumbs up on that. Not bad at all, I'd say. Alright, well, after dropping that down, what was eaten? Gotta be honest, it was a pretty scant amount of food today. There was a burger patty from frozen to the pan that was heated by my mom, with some pepper jack cheese on top, and mustard and zero sugar ketchup as well. We didn't have any bread, so we couldn't use that, sadly. Okay, what else did I eat? At my job, they were giving away free protein shakes for any employee, so I decided to take one, and looks like my phone moved a little bit there. Anywho, I took it and on my first break, and I put it in the break room freezer, and then I had it 2 hours later on my half-hour lunch break. It was really good. It's very similar to the flavor of I would say maybe a healthy version of those In-N-Out slushy cups or ice cream cups, I think, except more liquidy, because it didn't have enough time to turn into a proper slush. But the fact it was nice and cool was very refreshing. Okay, what else did I eat? Well, when I got home from work, I made keto fried rice, which is basically cauliflower rice with fish oil, soy sauce, sesame seed oil, and chopped up garlic and ginger with egg mixed in and a little bit of freshly fried bacon pieces. There was one problem though. Normally when I make this dish, I usually crush the garlic and the ginger, but this time I just chopped it up. But I found that the flavor was a bit more duller this time around. I'm pretty sure that if I instead crushed the garlic and the ginger into the dish instead of simply just chopping into little bits and frying in the oil to bring out the fragrance, it probably would have been much more flavorful. As it stood, it was okay. Well, moving along, I had some water, and yeah, that's pretty much what I ate today. Okay, now we can get to the exercise and walking at work. Yeah, that's pretty much it. A little bit of running too. Now that we have all that settled, we can move on to the daily update. So let's do that real quick. So I woke up at around 11, and when I got up, I decided to play more of that Indiana Jones and the Great Circle game on my PlayStation 5. I really enjoyed this game. I thought it was very good this part. I managed to solve that puzzle with the 5 wounds of Jesus, where you need to pay attention to the different areas he was affected by and the numbers provided, and then perfectly mark the levers in the puzzle to unlock the door. So I was able to do that. it was pretty cool when I figured it out. When I first ran across the puzzle, I gotta be honest, I was like, I just want to get this over with. But then I was like, you know what? I'm giving this a fair college try shake, and I'm glad that I did because it felt very rewarding. Now, after doing that, I went in to the catacombs where I managed to break a. Well, I didn't. The character broke in the cutscene a tomb open that contained like a map. And when he got the map, like some rando guy broke into the catacomb, and then the entirety of the catacombs just fell apart. Luckily, Indy was able to escape, and afterwards, the entirety of the area was swarmed with Italian soldiers that you have to fight against. So that's where I'm at right now. I was able to find a secret area, which I thought was pretty cool. I had to burn a torch and throw it through the opening entrance, because if you try to bring a torch in the area where you have to squeeze the characters through two cracks, his torch goes out. So yeah, that was pretty satisfying when I found that secret area and figured that out. Pretty cool. But afterwards, I did get a little tired from playing the game, so I turned it off. And then I remember I was like trying to find something to watch on YouTube, but nothing looked interesting to me. So I turned off the console, and I got up, and my mom was in the house, and she was making the burger patty. She asked me if I wanted one. I said yes, so she made one for me too. And I remember she asked if my sister wanted one, who was up, and she said no thank you, so she didn't make one for her, or the other friend also said no. So it was just me and my mom, and we had that. It was pretty good. But then I remember my mom said that she needed me to drive her back to she got her car looked at by a mechanic, and they told her that the car was going to be $1,000 to repair. So she was like, oh no, I ain't doing that right now. I'm gonna shop around and see if I can get a better deal. She needed my car to get over there. She asked me while I was half asleep if she could drive my car. I said yes. So she took it, but she brought it back, and she went to pick up the vehicle with me inside so I could drive the car back to the original location. And when I arrived, I was given this mail that said that apparently there was like this Federal Trade Commission v. Amazon.com thing that was going on today. Or not today, but it was like a little lawsuit happening, and apparently I was, with the mail, it said I was eligible for up to $51, and it gave me a PIN number to sign in. So I decided to use the QR code to look at the site that it took me to. I think the name of the site was like verdact.com or something. But I didn't really trust it because my family friend told me there's like a lot of like scams and stuff going on these days. So I decided to reverse search the QR code that the card sent me to. And ChatGPT said, well, it wasn't necessarily like illegal. It does point to different like websites that are of different things. Like there's one for booking a travel. There's one for like, helping with different cases. But it said that based on reviews of the website, like it thinks that it's untrustworthy. So when I found that out, I was like, I don't know about this. So I went on the Federal Trade Commission website, and they said if you think that you were eligible, send an email directly to Amazon. So they gave me the email. I sent an email with the address of the place that sent me the little case number and the card and all, to see if I could get a confirmation directly from the source that I am indeed eligible for the financial compensation. I mean, $51 isn't really a whole lot, but I mean, I'll take it. If I'm eligible for it, then why not? So yeah, I want to hear directly from the source before going forward, because I don't want to get scammed, because as nice as $51 sounds, it's not worth it if it means you get scammed, which basically means it's never worth it, because you get stolen from. I don't like that. But anyways, after watching that, or doing that little escapade, I decided to spend 20 minutes working on my Brain Jam Extra video. I was watching the footage, and I decided I wanted to make higher res, more detailed versions of the frames that I drew for a scene that I'm demonstrating. So I did do that for 2 frames, and then the next frame, it's for this character called Fairy Loca, who has a username for someone on Reddit, and I was basically drawing them as a bee character, and basically a little introduction drawing of them flying, and then another of them doing a little heart, because I'm trying to make it follow along with the read through where they say, Fairy Loca writes, "What I love is controversy." And so for the controversy line, I think I'll add Fairy Loca holding a sign saying pineapple on pizza is better than regular pizza, or something like that, or pineapple on pizza forever. I think that'd be kind of funny. So yeah, I'm gonna work on that, and then I'm gonna continue forward with the project to see how much more interesting stuff I can put in there. I gotta make it as visually diverse and varied as possible to keep it interesting to watch throughout the video. Once the timer went off, I remember I decided to get dressed for work, wet my hair, comb my hair. I said goodbye to our family friend that I love her, but I couldn't find my sister at the time, so I just left. And I drove off to work. Yeah. So eventually, when I got to work, it was just nothing but sweeps for the entire day. And I gotta be honest, it's really hard to find anything interesting to talk about with sweeps other than just pushing broom and keeping the area clean and clear. Greeted my fellow coworkers. Was helpful to any customers that walked by and asked where they could find a product, and I knew exactly where the product was. I'd take them straight to it. And yeah, every now and then I'd get a drink from my water canteen when I got dehydrated. I remember when I was punching in my sweeps, I saw the protein shake was available, and I was like, oh, I gotta get that. So I got that and put it in the freezer on my first break, and yeah, just swept the floors and produce storefront or area, general area, break room, and that's pretty much it. There's not much to say. Punched in most of my sweeps on time, so that was nice. Yeah, I went on my first break, or sorry, not my first break, my lunch break. I had the shake. I was watching a video while I was having the shake about a guy who was doing an in-depth review of the Virtue Pro versus the X-Real R1 glasses, and it was pretty interesting, in-depth review of both glasses. It was pretty engaging, but then it started to teeter on and on by the 15-minute mark. So after that, I decided to do some breath work, which was very nice. It was very relaxing, and I enjoyed it. And yeah, I went back downstairs. I punched back in. I was asked by one of my fellow coworkers if I could make the closing list. I made the closing list. My fellow coworker went to see what I was assigning, and I asked if they were comfortable with the choices I was making, and they were like, I'll make some of the choices. And so they decided to do all the check stands except for 5, 4, and 3. And yeah, they gave one of our other workers carts and signs, and I had trash. I gave myself trash and bringing more bags in and wiping down 3 check stands, and yeah, closing produce blinds, although my coworker ended up closing the produce blinds, but I did everything else. It was because around the time as we were closing, I was doing everything. I was asked by the deli department if I could dump some of the material into like compost for both the meat department and the produce department, and then throw the boxes in the box crusher. So I did that, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Not much to say other than punched out because my coworker, my manager at the time wanted me to get going because apparently our main manager doesn't want any overtime. And I put away my vest while doing a little dance, and then I gave fist bumps to all my fellow coworkers. I walked into my car. I remember as I was just walking and doing produce, I was just thinking a lot, just a bunch of thoughts. Yeah, pretty interesting. Like, just thinking about like Pixar's golden years and why they're at where they're at now and other things. But yeah, and then I drove off home, and when I got home, I went into the house. Our family friend was watching a movie called Together, where a dude and a lady were merging into one. It was pretty crazy. And I was making my food, which was the cauliflower fried rice. Had some water. And ate well. And once it was all done, I was eating that while watching a Suspect Green video. Original name was The Unusual Suspect. He was a YouTube channel that I really enjoyed when I was younger, and I still enjoy him now. I think he's a lot of fun. I think his editing is hilarious. And I think his jokes are really funny too. But he changed gears and decided to jump to a brand new channel called Suspect Green. I'm not exactly sure why. Maybe he just wanted an identity change for what reason. Maybe he thought his Unusual Suspect videos were of amateurish quality and he wanted his Suspect Green videos to be representative of his more professional quality. I could only guess. I'm sure there's an answer for it, though. But yeah, he was talking about the sci-fi movies that Mark Hamill appeared in that were not Star Wars. And basically the first film he talked about was a movie called Slipstream, which I've never heard of. But it looked really boring and really confusing and really drab and really dull. And it makes me wonder, why did anyone sign on this? And what was the director's vision? Was it compromised because of studio heads, or was it because because the guy who directed Tron? So you'd think, oh, he'd have some idea of how to make a good movie, right? But what, was he just, I don't know, was he having bad time making the movie? Was he given challenges by the people paying for the film. Like, I don't know what was going on, but whatever happened, it looks like it's a really bad movie, so I don't know. Very odd. But there you go. And a lot of really good people involved too. Like, the guy who produced the first 3 Star Wars movies was involved in, yet the movie sucked anyways. Very odd. Very odd production. Not exactly sure why it is so bad. But there you go. Then I decided to brush my teeth. Or, well, first I took my vitamins, then I brushed my teeth, then I took some mouthwash, and then I did 15 minutes of line work. Here's what I came up with. So if you can't tell what that is, this is a couch in our living room with a whole bunch of pillows. And that's a light that's next to the couch. And that's a chair that's obscuring the couch, and I kind of messed up on that area. I wasn't really sure how to draw that because, like, the way to make it seamless and continue while also staying true to the perspective was pretty difficult. Yeah, but hey, never skip drawing day. Keep on practicing, keep on moving forward, and before you know it, you're gonna be golden. So that's my belief. Well, I will go to bed right now. It's now 1:15 a.m. And yeah, I'm gonna see if I can go to sleep before 1:30, and hopefully I'll wake up at like 8 or 9. We'll see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm hoping around 8:30, because 7 hours is like a good amount, I think. Yeah. Alright, well, that's going to do it for now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye. Oh, okay. Now goodbye. Button didn't work. Let me try one more time. Farewell.